The dense forests of the Ore Mountains in southern France have long been the perfect hideout for cunning and aggressive wild boars. Recently, their numbers have surged uncontrollably, spilling into farmlands, devastating crops, and threatening the lives of locals. Determined to eliminate the boar threat and help the residents, our hunting team set off at dawn from town in our familiar vehicle. Quickly hopping off the vehicle, the team spread out to their assigned positions. I stood my ground patiently. Less than 15 minutes in, the first targets emerged. Gun loaded and ready, I took aim and pulled the trigger without hesitation. The lead boar was caught off guard and dropped instantly. The rest, sensing danger, scrambled to flee. Refusing to lose track of the ones that escaped, we pushed forward. I manned a narrow trail alone, standing guard. As one dark shape charged toward me, I silently squeezed the trigger. A sharp blast echoed, felling the stubborn beast within seconds. At Elwyn's location, he remained in constant contact via walkie-talkie while staying alert. Right after ending a brief exchange with us, he spotted a new group of targets. An intense chase began. Gunfire rang out as the boars darted past tree trunks. But alas, despite the flurry of bullets, not a single boar went down. It was understandable. Thick vegetation made accurate shots nearly impossible, and the speed of these animals is no joke. A gray, overcast sky cast a gloomy shadow over the land, as if warning us of incoming misfortune. A wild boar burst from the undergrowth like lightning. I quickly raised my trusty rifle and fired. Just as we wrapped up the earlier scuffle, more gunfire echoed, this time from Galvin's location. The sharp cracks shattered the stillness of the forest, and several wild boars fell. By the time we arrived, the ground was littered with lifeless bodies resting atop fallen leaves. We headed back to the mountain peak, this time with greater focus and patience. When the next target appeared, I didn't hesitate. Perfect shot. The boar collapsed instantly. Fueled by momentum, I headed down to support Elwyn as a new wave of wild boars poured down from south. A blur of black figures dashed past us, both of us stunned by their sheer numbers. We fired off a flurry of shots. From afar, we spotted another boar preparing to cross an open grassy area. I hid carefully behind some branches to avoid detection. As soon as it passed by, I fired twice in quick succession. The chase continued relentlessly into the night. Shouts and gunshots echoed through the woods, creating a truly adrenaline-pumping hunt.
Wild boars are a nightmare for farmers. They dig up the ground in search of food, destroy pastures, and damage crops. What's alarming is that this invasive species reproduces at an incredibly fast rate, with each female capable of giving birth to up to 12 piglets per litter and reproducing twice a year. Local authorities have tried everything to control them, from setting traps, building fences, to using chemicals, but the boar population continues to rise. And that's why today our team has decided to head out, not just because of our passion for hunting, but also to protect the farmers' fields that are being destroyed by these wild boars every day. This morning, the sun was gently shining, and we began our hunt in a small forest behind a neighbor's house. As soon as we arrived, the team quickly set up the guns, took their positions, and waited for signals from the hunting dogs. After a while of waiting, the sound of barking broke through the air. A wild boar, trapped by the dogs, burst out of the forest, charging straight toward us. Seeing the opportunity, I moved the gun along with the boar's movements and fired. The first two shots just grazed its back, making it stagger. But with the third shot, the bullet hit its mark and completely brought it down. So, we had our first trophy of the day. After carefully scouting the terrain for a while, we realized that this forest was relatively small and didn't have many wild boars, so the team decided to move to a different area. The pack of dogs was still full of energy, running ahead to search for prey. Thanks to that, as soon as we left the forest, we encountered the next wild boar. The boar was struggling to find a way out under a small stream. I calmly raised my gun and fired. A precise shot brought the prey down on the spot. On the other side of the stream, there was a gentle hill covered in thick bushes as tall as a person, an ideal hiding spot for the boars. However, with a favorable vantage point and eyes always alert to the smallest movement in the trees, I would notice the boars the moment they moved. Sure enough, not long after, a dark shape quietly slithered between the bushes. Several gunshots rang out in quick succession. One bullet hit, but it wasn't a fatal shot. The boar panicked, turned around, and managed to run a few more meters in the opposite direction before collapsing and rolling down the hillside. After more than an hour here, the team decided to move to another forest area, one where wild boar packs frequently appeared. As soon as we arrived, the pack of dogs immediately picked up the scent of a group of boars hiding behind some dense bushes. I tightened the trigger, fired a few shots to flush them out. The entire group panicked and ran off with growls echoing through the deep forest. Then I spotted a wild boar still hiding under the trees. Not missing the chance, I lowered my gun and fired, successfully finishing off the target. The team ventured deeper into the forest to hunt for new prey. Less than half an hour later, a large boar entered my sight. We continued hunting into the late afternoon. Then the whole team stopped on a trail leading out of the forest, waiting for the last few prey before the end of the hunt. Suddenly, a wild boar dashed across the road, raising a cloud of dust. I instinctively reacted, raised my gun, and aimed decisively. Right after that, another boar dashed out and became the next target. Another precise shot brought the prey down on the spot. The sun slowly set behind the hill, casting a golden-orange light across the forest landscape. We turned back, retracing our steps on the trail, concluding the hunt with many memorable victories.